Om Gam Ganapate Namaha, Kaliyugada Kalpataru, the fifth delight, Shri Raghavendra Gurusarvabhauma, Chapter 115, Shri Rayaru in Adavani. After departing from Kumbhakona, Shri Rayaru swiftly travelled and graced Hampi with his presence. There he had darshana of Padmanabhatirtharu and other ancient acharyas. After Hastodaka and paid respects to Shri Virupaksha, Ramadeva and Pranadeva through worship and service. From there he proceeded to Ballari, where he resided for a few days. After 4 or 5 days, the Nawab of Adavani, along with his beloved disciple Diwan Venkanna Pant and several other dignitaries, received Srimukha letters sent by Sri Rayaru, inviting them to receive him at Adavani. These letters, accompanied by Phalamantrakshata, was carried by Shripadaputra, Lakshmi Naranacharya and other scholarly members of the Matha. Upon meeting the Diwan, Shripadaputra and the Panditas presented Srimukha and the blessed Mantrakshate. When Venkana Pant received these divine tokens from Sri Rayaru, his body was overcome with goosebumps, and brimming with emotion and devotion, he exclaimed, "Ah, will my liberating Guru truly bless me again? After so many years, Rayaru has shown his compassion on this poor disciple one last time. I am truly blessed." His heartfelt reaction amazed Sripadaputra and the assembled Panditas. Sensing their words, Venkana Pant humbly recounted his life-changing experiences, how, despite being unlettered, he had been forced by the Nawab to read royal letters, how he had been struck with fear and, at that moment of despair, remembered Sri Rayaru, how through divine grace he could miraculously read and gained the Nawab's affection, ultimately leading to his appointment as Diwan of the state. With heartfelt devotion he said, "From being discarded like filth, I have now risen to this exalted position, all due to the power of Sri Rayaru's grace." Listening to this moving testimony, everyone present felt as if a current of divine energy had passed through their bodies. They stood astonished and overwhelmed with bliss. Later, Venkana Pant arranged for the Sripadaputra and the Panditas to meet the Nawab and presented the Srimukha and Mantrakshata. He said to the Nawab, "Huzur, my revered Gurudeva is coming to bless us. His arrival will be greatly auspicious for you and for the entire kingdom." The Nawab, Siddhi Masood Khan, who had heard about the Guru's knowledge, devotion, renunciation and greatness from his beloved Diwan, was extremely pleased. Smilingly, he turned to the Sripadaputra and said, "Panditji, since your revered Guru is also the Guru of my Diwan, then surely he is my Guru too. It is a great joy indeed to welcome such a noble soul." Turning to Venkana Pant, he added, "Diwanji, it is your responsibility to honorably receive Guru Maharaj and offer him the highest respect. You must take full charge of these arrangements." Hearing the Nawab's words, Venkana Pant was filled with immense joy. He humbly replied, "Ji Huzur, I will arrange everything," and returned to his residence along with the Sripadaputra and the others. That very night, he distributed the Srimukha and Mantrakshite to all the prominent citizens of the capital and instructed everyone to be ready with great enthusiasm to welcome Sri Guru Raja. As per the directive of the state Diwan, all the people joyfully decorated their homes and streets. Numerous elegant banana arches and decorative pavilions were beautifully set up, with full royal honors, auspicious pictures, Vedic chants, Mangalavadyas, that is, festive music, and with thousands of people, including political dignitaries, citizens, disciples, and devotees. Venkana Pant waited at the town's outskirts, eager for the arrival of his revered Guru. At the appointed time, Sri Gurusarvabhauma's grand procession approached. As soon as Venkana Pant had darshan of the Guru, his face lit up with joy. He ran forward, placed a full offering at the Guru's feet, prostrated completely, and said with devotion, "Gurudeva, after so many years, I have the fortune of seeing your feet. I am truly blessed." With a gentle smile, Rayaru asked about his well-being. At Venkana Pant's request, Sri Rayaru was seated in a richly adored golden palanquin, and from there he was paraded through the main streets of the capital, eventually arriving at Venkanapan's residence. That day, unprecedented celebration, the overwhelming excitement of the people, and the fervent devotion were truly unforgettable. Then, Venkanapant introduced all the town dignitaries to Sri Rayaru, who, smiling warmly, inquired about everyone's welfare and graciously distributed Phalamantrakshata. Venkanapant made arrangements for the Guru Sripadaputra and prominent scholars to stay in his own mansion. For the hundreds of others, followers, scholars, students, family members, and staff, he provided accommodation across dozens of homes. The next day, he hosted a grand bhiksha, that is ceremonial meal, for Sri Rayaru at his residence. On the following day, a splendid and reverent reception was held at Venkanapan's house. In the early morning, he performed Padapuja, that is worship of the Guru's feet, and along with his wife, son, and household, received Mantrakshata and Mantramudra Dharana. He offered gold, money, garments, and ornaments and felt truly fulfilled. Although Venkanapant was now the Divan of the great kingdom, he remained humble, unaffected by status or pride, and stayed a devoted disciple just as he had been in the beginning. Sripadaru, overjoyed by this, smiled and said, "So, Divan Sahib, you still haven't forgotten your Guru. How wonderful that is." Hearing those words from Guru Raja, Venkanapant collapsed to the ground. He panicked, wondering if he had somehow committed an offense. Tears streamed down his face. His throat choked with emotion. Overwhelmed with sorrow, he placed his head at the Guru's feet and cried out, "Mahaswami, is it ever even possible for me to forget you, my divine Guru, who uplifted this orphan who had been cast aside and neglected by society and even his own kin? You, who held my hand and nurtured me. You, who gave shape to something as worthless as trash and turned it into nectar, gave it a form and made it worthy of respect, honor, and prestige in this world. How could I be so mindless as to forget you? The very thought shakes me to the core. If such a feeling were ever to arise in me, no power in the world could protect me. Swami, I am not an ungrateful one. Everything I have today, this glory, position, wealth, and the world's recognition, is the fruit of your blessed feet. Guruvarya, please continue to look upon this servant of yours with the same merciful gaze as always. O Great One, the very blood in my body, each breath I take, has been nourished by your nectar-like grace. There is nothing that belongs to me. Everything is yours. Please continue to bless your disciple." He prayed with such profound humility. Seeing Venkanapant's turmoil, sincerity, and humility, Sri Rayaru said, "Venkana, are you really this upset over a remark I made in jest? Do you think we don't know you? You are and have always been our most beloved disciple." He then drew Venkanapant near and gently placed his hand on his head, comforting him with compassion. Feeling the divine touch of his Guru, Venkanapant was overwhelmed with joy. His entire began trembling with bliss. His entire body began trembling with bliss, and he prostrated again and again before Sri Rayaru. Everyone present was amazed at his Guru Bhakti, gratitude, and unwavering love for Guru Raja. Hari Om. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.